Irony. In Seattle, Washington, a place where there's the University of Washington in the University District. District, an important word here, how the city has been arranged now, with the downtown shut down by people who hate the government. They don't want businesses. A place I used to visit when I first moved here 17 or 18 years ago. Go to the market, see the water, hang out. It was pretty. Now it's sad and depressing. Scary, with violence everywhere, unfortunately. Seen and very quiet, making confusion easily noticeable. Splitting it up into Ballard, Fremont, Greenwood, Capitol Hill, West Seattle, Central District, all these different places connected now with the good transit in Seattle. With a big hole in the middle, like a donut now. And the University of Washington has one of the best medical schools in the country and one of the best neuroscience classrooms probably anywhere. Birds everywhere, wildlife, nature, study quantum mechanics, study to be a doctor, and learn psychology and psychiatry. And in this world here in Seattle, Washington, there's the mayor, similar to every other city, with a governor, similar to every other place in the country. The mayor says to the president, "Your behavior's horrible, go back to your bunker and hide, cower." And she walks like that person in the street right now who's having fun in the autonomous new country made here now in Seattle. An artist discovery paradise. With no police, with people carrying rifles in a city, in the streets. The same rifles people carry to go hunt in the wilderness are being displayed on their bodies proudly. And the governor says to the President of the United States of America, STOOP, in some sense calling him stupid. Again, angry at the behavior. And where this behavior starts to get into the whole discussion has to do with all of the neuroscience, all of the medicine in the university being protected by the mayor and the governor as the prestige of Washington State. And how little they say about brain, body, world. and how much they focus on mind, mental health, the mental aspect of life. They proclaim important for consciousness. The mind, they're saying, makes the consciousness. The mind in the brain. And these people who are saying behavior wrong, horrible, get the fucking heck out of the federal government, you lowlife, sleazy, slime, human, are saying to the people in this autonomous zone in Capitol Hill, on Capitol Hill in Seattle, to behave however they want. Graffiti everywhere, free food, armed guards, harassment for any speech not included in their free speech rules. Wearing a Donald Trump 2020 hat would probably end up with me on the ground bleeding with a gunshot to my head. And neither of these people, with the whole police included, are saying there's no problems with their behavior. They don't got no cops over there. It's a cop co-op free or something. There's no people who are there from the state government to make sure nobody's fighting or hurting anyone. And not only these conditions, the streets being blocked. So their behavior is actually blocking traffic and impeding the city. And they say the behavior of the President of the United States of America, Mr. Donald Trump, has racism, ignorance, stupidity, and way too much bravado. Hormones. Saying the behavior from the federal government has no place here in this part of the North America. Spending the federal dollars. People walking around the streets treating a person who respects the flag as an enemy. For whatever social benefit or plain old nastiness. All these parts of behavior with the university I get my books from and where I was finally able to learn about stimulus and behavior and psychology and the stimuli or stimulus given and the behavior appropriately changed and the reward for the improved behavior. In other words, the mayor and the governor are saying to the president of the federal government, they're not giving a stimulus until they see a person over there in the White House they agree with intellectually, conversationally, possibly physically, to meet their goals. They don't talk about, they don't explain, and they don't say out loud now. Almost as secret, classified information. There's no world in these circumstances. There are people who think and believe wholeheartedly they are smarter than another person. There's another person who chooses to make their vision for America with people like Mayor Durkin and Governor Jay Inslee, Mr. Governor Jay Inslee, all over the place, doing the same habits. Your behavior's horrible, shit and piss everywhere, go poop. I screwed up. My behavior's horrible. I'm gonna get censored, I'm gonna get taken off YouTube. Google censors behavior. And they never stop the stimulus. All of the colors, all of the bowing, and all of the getting down on a knee. With people meeting online to get on one knee, eventually to get married. Not in person. There's nowhere to go to meet anybody in person. They put people like me in social housing and force a person like me to beg for a seat in their college. I've got to get my behavior matched up, volunteer, think like a savant, and then receive the reward of their education. To not live in poverty and suffer, having had cancer and chordoma, and not having a whole group of people called my social allies to let me live as a communist in their community. A person without a family, living over in Magnolia or Queen Anne with a big, spacious, paid-for home worth millions. They've ruined their cloak of invincibility. And their small little improvements with saying to people, hey, you need to use a bathroom and you can't just throw needles everywhere and put your tent where kids are trying to walk to go explore and look around and find out what's in Seattle now. They don't stop the window from being broken with the behavior involved. They call their choice a protest and a valid reaction to sadness and emotion. Another part of their psychiatry and health system filled with letters and languages and words and dialects and ethnicities and rules and restrictions, processes and lots of failure. The end.